All right, so what is good, Trey Ball? I decided to do a little something different today. I don't usually record in OBS, so this might be a little bumpy, I don't know. But today we have the NBA Slander tier list. So the way I'm going to do this is, you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different categories, and I'm going to explain those to you right now. Before I get into it, actually, can you make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe? If you like the content, of course. If you don't, why are you here? All right. So the bottom one, how could you not love him? I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. I am a Celtics fan, as most of you might know. If you've been watching for a while, if you haven't, welcome. I'm going to try to be unbiased. I only see 2 Celtics here, so hopefully that's not a problem. Yeah, but how could you not love him? Basically, it's just a guy, lovable guy, always smiling, always happy. I don't know how you could not love this person. All right, gotta be a personal thing. It's more so like this guy did something to your team. Like, if you're a Damian Lillard hater, bruh, why do you hate Damian Lillard, bruh? You got to be a Thunder fan, or he had to send one of your teams home or something like that. All right, I don't get it, but okay. To me, that's a guy that's like, like, I don't personally see why you don't like him, but like, if you hate him, I see an angle. I don't hate him, but I see why you hate him. All right. Then next we got, why do you like this guy? This is gonna be for people that's like, I just don't see how you could like this person. A lot of these are self-explanatory too. Yeah, but I feel like I should explain. Personally, can't stand him. That should be a pretty small list. I feel like I like a lot of these players, but personally can't stand him. Obviously, me personally, I just don't like him. And then this motherfucker's the worst. Again, pretty self-explanatory, but I'll try to put not too many people in that category. I'm looking at, I only see maybe a couple. This is supposed to be the top 50 players in the league right now. I don't know if that's a pretty good list for the top 50. But without further ado, let's get right into this. First off, we got Lauri Markkanen. You see, Lauri is a cool player. I think, personally, I like Lauri Markkanen. I feel like he's good vibes. I feel like if you're a Bulls fan, though, you might not like him just because y'all kind of got the short end of the stick when it came to Lauri Markkanen. He wasn't a great player when he played for y'all, so I'll call Lauri Markkanen. I'll put him in. It's got to be a personal thing because me personally, I like him. But if you're a Bulls fan, I can see how you wouldn't. Next we got Drew Holiday. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory as well. I mean, I don't see how you could not like Drew Holiday. Am I a little biased? Maybe. I mean, like, maybe a little bit. But I mean, his story, he's got a great family. His wife, also a great athlete. She went through a lot of stuff, and he was there for her. He was right there with her. So, personally, I don't see how you could not like Drew Holiday. So, I think he's got to be right there. All right, so next up, we got Chris Middleton. All right, let me put it like this first. I don't personally hate Chris Middleton. I think he's all right. But I also see this motherfucker is, and I hate to say this, but Chris Middleton is a little ugly. And if an ugly ass motherfucker like that was putting up 30 on my team, 25 on my team, just dropping buckets on our head, he ain't never did the Celtics any type of crazy ass way. He did hit that one deep ass 3. I'm gonna see if I can put a clip of that in here because I do remember that.
Middleton! Yo!
But he ain't never did this no crazy ass way. So I don't get it. But I get it though, I see. All right, Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley ain't never did shit to nobody, bro. How could you not love Evan Mobley? He's pretty wholesome, good young player. I feel like that's what's understood doesn't need to be explained. All right. Personally, I can't stand that motherfucker. Tyler Hero. For me, I despise him. He talks all that shit. He's I don't want to say he's trying to be something he's not, because, like, be who you are. But I just can't stand that motherfucker, bro. Obviously, he's on the Heat, so being a Celtics fan, there's a little bit of beef there, maybe. But nah, I just can't stand him. And also, I feel like he always disappears when I need him the most, and no one talks about that. And they just so happen to talk about it with a 3-time, 4-time maybe first team All NBA player in Jason Tatum. But no one ever talks about. And I understand there's different expectations. But yeah, I just can't stand him. I'll leave it there. All right, Austin Reeves. I'll say it's got to be a personal thing, because I personally like Austin Reeves. I think he's a all right player. They definitely overpaid him. So if you're a Lakers fan and you just saw what he did this past season, I think he might have had some injury stuff too. But you're definitely not happy with how much they paid him. But I think he's a cool player. He can a nice shooter. Got a cool nickname. Yeah, I don't see how you could not like him. Then we got Desmond Bane. I don't think Desmond Bane's done anything to anyone. If he has, somebody pull up the clips, let me know or whatever. But I don't think he's done anything to anyone. So shout out Desmond Bane, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. Next up, we got Michael Porter Jr. This motherfucker's been wilding on that podcast. He's been wilding on that podcast. Having I think he had Lana Rhodes. I'm kind of out of my porn watching era. Am I wilding? All right. Anyways, he had her on his podcast, and they were kind of talking about some wild stuff. But he's also a little weird. Should there just be a Michael Porter Jr. category? Nah, that's crazy. I'd say I'm kind of indifferent about him. So I'll say I don't get it. But like, I don't get it, but okay. Like, if you have a beef with him, okay. Also, the fact that he doesn't ever pass the ball could be a bit of a turnoff for you. So, yeah. I'll say I don't get it, but if you do hate him, like, I see. All right, next up we got Andrew Wiggins, and he might be the first person I put in the why do you like this guy category. Because it's just like, again, no shade to Andrew Wiggins. He's a cool player. But unless you're from Canada, bro, why do you like Andrew Wiggins? But the problem is, why do you like this guy is low-key the same thing. It's got to be a personal thing. I don't know. Nah, this is my list, bro. I'm going to do however I feel like. I probably should have said that at the start. But if you're still watching, shout out to you. I really appreciate that. Leave a like. Let me know where you think Andrew Wiggins should be at if you're still watching. I feel like Andrew Wiggins should go, yeah, why do you like this guy? I mean, he kind of busted in Minnesota. Pause. That sounds crazy. He unrightfully got for All-Star starter with the Warriors. So I can't agree with that. And yeah, I just don't think he has done much in his career that warrants liking him. So yeah, I don't see why you would like him. Then we got Bradley Beal. I'm kind of torn on Brad Beal. I'll put him in gotta be a personal thing. Because Brad Beal has a lot of funny clips. He got a couple meme face clips. He just seems like a kind of a lovable guy, kind of a good guy. He also had that clip where he was yelling at the damn kids. I don't know if y'all have seen that, but he was on their ass. So, nah, I'll move him up. I don't get it, but if you don't like him, because he was on them kids' ass. So pause. Maybe he was chewing them out for sure. So yeah, I could see how you wouldn't like that. But anyways, next we got DeMar DeRozan. I don't think you could dislike DeMar DeRozan. I think one, he kind of got screwed over with the Kawhi Leonard trade. He was on that team forever and they couldn't win it. Then they get Kawhi. I mean, Kawhi's a better player, but still, like, you kind of got to feel sorry for the guy. Yeah, he's had some mental health stuff, fought through that, so I appreciate that for him. And yeah, I just don't see how you could not like DeMar DeRozan. He hasn't done anything to anyone, I don't think. Kind of from a tough background. I feel like he might have had some fighting stuff in the league, like maybe. But all I've seen from DeMar DeRozan is highlight plays and mid-range jumpers. So yeah, that's that. I don't see how you could not love him. All right, next we got Kristaps Porzingis, and again, I might be kind of biased as of right now. I'll say, that's tough. This is tough. I'll put Kristaps in, and I don't get it, but okay, right? Because if you're a, say, a Knicks fan, say you're a Wizards fan, even a Mavericks fan, you're saying to yourself, we didn't really, well, the Knicks, okay, that might be on you, but if you're a Wizards or a Mavericks fan, you're saying to yourself, we didn't really maximize Porzingis, and I don't think he was playing to his max ability for us. So I'd say I get how you could not. I see it. You know, I don't dislike him, obviously, because he's a Celtic right now. He's about to help us win this 18th banner. But if you don't like him, I see it. Then we got Mikal Bridges. I think that's pretty simple. I don't think I need to explain that. He seems to be a great guy. Cool guy, fun guy. So yeah, how could you not love him? Then we got Cat. I'll say it's got to be a personal thing. You know, if you're a Timberwolves fan right about now, you're feeling like he kind of fucked y'all in their last series, which is valid. Like I can't say you're wrong. Me personally, I wouldn't do that. I don't hate him. So I think it's got to be a personal thing. I think yeah, it's got to be a personal thing. Then we got Darius Garland. Sometimes he be on bullshit, bruh. All right, got to be a personal thing. I'll put him in and got to be a personal thing. Yeah, got to be a personal thing. Because he had those meme clips where he was like, what do you say? He was like, Serena, I can't hear you, Selena, or whatever. He was saying shit like that. But it was funny. I'll put a clip if I can find it. But yeah, I think he's a cool guy. I think the only reason you could not like him is because he kind of sold a little bit in the playoffs. He kind of was selling maybe a little bit. Nah, he sold a little bit because when Donovan Mitchell got hurt, he didn't really carry the load. And it's Darius Garland. Like, was he gonna carry the load ever? You know. So I don't really know, but I think yeah, it's got to be a personal thing for you. Then we got Julius Randle, and another guy. I personally just don't like him. I think he's an all right guy. Like I don't have a problem with him off the court. I just don't like the way he plays. It bothers me a lot. And then he hits a lot of fluky ass shots. And okay, shout out to him for working hard or whatever. Like, what the fuck? But personally, I don't get it. I don't see why people would like him. And he just kind of really irritates me. I don't like him at all. All right. Then we got LaMelo Ball. And I'm torn on LaMelo Ball because it's like there's two LaMelo Balls to me. There's Chino Hills, fun-loving kid, LaMelo Ball. And then I feel like he's almost developed into like a dickhead maybe. And not that he wasn't always a dickhead. Shout out to Jaden Newman. He kind of did you dirty. We've all seen the clip. He don't run his own Instagram apparently. So I think I'm going to put him right over the I don't hate him, but I see how you would. I think I'm going to put him in the why do you like this guy? Because he hasn't won. He didn't go to play in college, obviously. He played in Lithuania, then Australia, then got drafted from there. He got a lot of baggage and stuff. I guess he's a flashy passer, but I just don't think there's too much of a reason to like be a huge LaMelo Ball fan. And he ran over that kid's foot. So that's fucked up. So yeah, why do you like him? Then we got Tyrese Maxey, and he's got to go at the start of how could you not love him? See, me, even as a Celtics fan, even as a Sixers hater, I love Tyrese Maxey. Just infectious, fun-loving, fast, just, high-flying. Just gotta love him. And he's always smiling. I don't see how you could not like his vibe. And just yeah, man. Shout out to Tyrese Maxey. Then we got Zach LaVine. Another guy I'm kind of torn on a little bit. I'll put him as got to be a personal thing. Because his play style is fun as hell. Great scorer, great shooter. You know, obviously one of the best dunkers we've ever seen. So yeah, I gotta put him right there. But I guess if you're a Bulls fan, you're kind of like done with his antics almost, because I mean, at this point, he's destined to eventually leave the franchise, and you got to feel like you could have did more with him. So yeah, I'd say it's got to be a personal thing. Next up, though, we got Jalen Brunson, and as much as I personally don't like him, I did say this is my motherfucking list, though. It's my list, bro. Fuck that. Yeah, personally, I can't stand him. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the way he plays. I feel like he does the same shit everyone was yelling at Trae Young for, right? He does the foul baiting shit. If you don't like foul baiting, why the fuck do you like Jalen Brunson? Really think to yourself. Then you gotta think, this motherfucker scores all these 40-point games, but nigga, he's playing 40 to 45 minutes a game. Not trying to diminish what he does. Like, shout out to him. But like, I also think we need to add some context to a lot of this shit. Obviously, he's gonna score more points. He always has the ball in his hand. He plays 40 to 45 minutes a game without this motherfucker right here, Julius Randle. So, I mean, yes, okay, like, he's a great player. Like, he's really good. But I see motherfuckers saying he's better than Jason Tatum, and it's frankly just like, bro, like what are we really talking about? Because it couldn't be basketball. We're not talking. Like, motherfuckers just can't think, and I think that really irritates me. Not that I don't like Jalen Brunson. I think he's a cool guy, but personally, I don't like the discourse around him. So, and again, this is my list. So, yeah, personally, I can't fucking stand him. Then we got Domantas Sabonis. I'm gonna put him in. How could you not love him? He's a great player for a bad team. Usually that makes the person pretty likable. Yeah, I think that's a fair place to put him in. Yeah. Pascal Siakam. I'll put him in. It's got to be a personal thing, and I have a personal thing. I'm not gonna say I personally can't stand him, because that's a big jump, right? But I have a personal thing. I just don't like the way he plays at all, and I feel like, not that he's not good, but the way he plays really irritates me. I don't know, but yeah, like, I think he's a cool guy. I think he's like funny and shit. Like, I like Pascal Siakam, but like, I have the personal thing, you know. Then we got Jamal Murray, the Dome legend. Pause. That sounds fucking crazy, but y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to say, before he threw that goddamn towel, he would have been right here. But since he threw that towel, I'll say this, because one, he had all them game winners. He did all that. He's also just been like a really clutch player. So like, he's probably hit a game winner on your team before. He's probably done stuff that you wouldn't want done to your team. And then he threw that towel at the ref, or the heating pad at the ref. And that was just like weird, and it really made him seem like a fucking baby. Just weird energy to me. Like, why would you do that, really? So yeah, for that, I gotta put him there. But I personally don't hate him, but it's just kind of like, I see it. Jaren Jackson Jr. That's who we got next up, and I think pretty safe to say we'll put him. How could you not love this guy? And I think this is a good list right now, because it's like, it's pretty tiered. Like, you should like most of the guys in the NBA. Like, they're living a dream. They should be like pretty happy and fun. So I think the pyramid is going well. The half pyramid, I guess you could say. But yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. One of the better dressed players in the NBA. I saw this thing. He's very into music and stuff. So I think that's cool. And also his play style. He's a great defender. Like, I don't see how you could not like Jaren Jackson Jr. And honestly, this next guy we have up, I created an entire tier just for him. And I don't give a fuck. I think he might be the only one in this tier. And that's James Harden, bro. I do not like James Harden at all. Personally, I feel like, how could you like James Harden? This motherfucker is the worst. He literally goes everywhere and is just scandalous and loses. Why would you ever like this person? And yeah, like, he has a cool play style, but bro, he has never won. Other than the MVP, he hasn't really win shit. And he won the MVP just because he was like carrying shit, which is like, cool, you carry. But it's also like, bro, you've been how many places now? OKC, which I can't fault you for not winning there. OKC, Houston, Brooklyn, and then Philly, and then now LA. And I feel like there's just nothing but problems around James Harden. And, I don't think he's a great teammate. I just don't think very highly of James Harden. Obviously, I mean, shout out to him like for being in the NBA and shit. I always feel weird hating on NBA players, but like personally, I don't fuck with him that heavy. And I don't think he'll ever win shit just because the way he acts and just his discourse with his teammates. I just don't think that's a very winning mindset. Then we got Bam Adebayo. Honestly, it's gotta be a personal thing. Similar to Pascal Siakam, I have the personal thing with him. And it's he seems to be one of the only guys in the league that can like effectively really guard Jason Tatum. And it's like really fucking annoying because he's like a great defender. And yeah, a lot of times he hits a lot of fluky shots on offense, but like I don't hate Bam. I think Bam's a cool player. I think Bam's a cool guy. So yeah, shout out to Bam Adebayo. Brandon Ingram, how could you not love Brandon Ingram? He's got the Brandon Xavier Ingram meme. If you haven't seen it, I'll probably put a clip.
I already have a boyfriend and he plays NBA basketball.
Oh, who's your boyfriend?
Brandon Xavier Ingram.
And then yeah, he's just a cool guy, good player. Apparently, I don't know if this was a troll, but back in the day there was like an art thing with Brandon Ingram where he was like drawing and shit, which I think is pretty cool. Like when NBA players have other talents and shit, I feel like that's like a cool type of thing. So yeah, shout out to Brandon Ingram. And I think he kind of obviously has to go into how could you not love them. Then we got Paul George. I think Paul, I gotta put him in. It's gotta be personal. Because if you're a Clippers fan, I get it. Like, and you know what? I might have to move him up. No. I'll leave him there. Because to me, it's like, how could you not like him? He came back from the injury. You know, he had like one of the worst injuries we've ever seen. Yeah. I think he's still a star player, but if you're a Clippers fan, obviously you got to kind of feel some type of way because obviously he's been selling. He had the way off P thing going, and so yeah, I could see how you wouldn't like that. Then we got De'Aaron Fox. Man, shout out to De'Aaron Fox. I don't really think there's a reason not to like De'Aaron Fox. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments if you're still watching. If you're still watching, let me know why I shouldn't like De'Aaron Fox. Anyways, though, yeah, I don't think it's a reason. He's a fun player. It's kind of similar to Tyrese Maxey, obviously, with his play style. You know, fast. He's probably a little bit better of a shooter right now. But yeah, exciting and always seems to have a good disposition. So shout out to De'Aaron Fox. Then we got Trae Young, and he is kind of a polarizing figure. I'll put him in the why do you like this guy category. Like, you gotta explain this to me, because he's done nothing. Unless you're almost at Falcons, unless you're a Hawks fan, you don't really have a reason to like Trae Young, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, he's a cool player, but he did the foul baiting stuff, which was really annoying. Kind of got Jalen Brunson started on that shit. Kind of the same wave. He's a really small player, can't play any defense. He's pretty good in the playoffs. But hasn't been great in the playoffs due to his team. Hasn't really won anything. He misses the All-Star team a lot, which again is probably due to his team, not really due to his play. He's a great passer, I'll give him that, but it's tough for me to say like I don't get it, but okay, because I do get it and I see it. And then also he did. If you're a Knicks fan, or if you really don't like people who are like really boisterous and loud. Like, I could see how you would put him there because, like, he did talk that shit to Knicks fans and to New York. So I get the fuck Trae Young chance, and I if you like Trae Young, comment why you like Trae Young. Now we got the baby GOAT, baby Michael Jordan. Blah 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 blah. I'm a fucking hater, bro. I like this nigga's play style, bro. So okay, I like his play style, so I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him, and I don't get it. I don't get why you would hate him, but okay. Like, I see it. Because personally, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, this is my list. Why do you like this guy? And you know what? Little rant. Time for a little rant. I know why people like this guy. It's that play style. People like that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant type of play style. But it's just irritating when people call this motherfucker Michael Jordan, bro. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Kobe. He's not that right now. And I get it, but I saw people saying he's the best player in the league. Like, what am I looking at, bro? And I understand there's a large crowd of people who only watch the playoff games, you know, which is okay, I guess. But like, that's irritating to see that shit. And I just gotta, like, I need someone to tell me. I like Anthony Edwards. I think he's cool as fuck. Like, I think he's like good vibes. I think he's a hell of a basketball player. But like, it's just irritating the discourse around him. Kind of like Jalen Brunson. I'll put him and Jalen Brunson kind of in the same type of thing. Except if Anthony Edwards was playing 45 minutes a game and getting every touch, then I would have him up here with Jalen Brunson, because that's why Jalen Brunson gets glazed. But Anthony Edwards is also funny as hell and shit like that. So I'm moving down to I don't get it, but okay. Because that felt overly hateful to put him with these three guys. Because these three guys kind of have the same vibe. Also, Anthony Edwards has proven to be a winner in the league. Because the Timberwolves have done nothing but get better with him on the team. So I got to give him a shout for that. Then we get to long-time Boston Celtics favorite, Jaylen Brown. And me personally, I don't see how. Now, fuck it. I don't see how you could not love him. He's one of the most intellectual basketball players we've ever seen, ever in the history of ever. Great player, smart player, high flyer, great shooter, all-star. You know, just what more could you ask for? I love the way he plays. I love Jaylen Brown. I love everything he stands for. Very activist, social activist. I think, if not still the youngest person to teach a class at Harvard, one of the younger people that's ever taught a class at Harvard. Just a dare I say brilliant type of player. And yeah, I'm glazing. What about it? But yeah, gotta love Jaylen Brown. And argue with your mama, nigga, because he's not moving. Then we got Tyrese Halliburton. I'm kind of torn because I like Reese. I like Tyrese Halliburton. But I could see how a motherfucker could not like Tyrese Halliburton. Because he does talk a lot of shit. And I just don't appreciate him talking shit. I don't know. I feel like it feels like he talks too much shit. Which is like, that's cool. But one, you haven't done anything in the league. You haven't really proven anything. I mean, obviously you're a great passer, but nigga, your free trial as a star ended. Don't act like we forgot you turning into a role player halfway through the season. Obviously he's still the best player. I mean, obviously I'm joking about him being a role player, but I think he talks a little bit too much shit to have his skill level. Then we got Demetrius Ja Morant. I don't know. I feel like I like Ja Morant. I don't hate Ja Morant. Also, I'll put him in this one too. I don't get it. But if you don't like, I'll leave him there. I don't get it, but okay. Like, I see why you wouldn't like Ja Morant, all the gun stuff. He's kind of kind of ignorant from time to time, but I think as far as basketball goes, bro, there's no way you could slander Ja Morant. There's no way you could hate Ja Morant, you know? So, you kind of have to like him. I'm torn. I'm torn between gotta be a personal thing and I don't get it. I'll put it in gotta be a personal thing. Because to me, the only reason you wouldn't like Ja Morant is if you don't like people that act like Ja Morant, which is a different conversation in itself. But we won't have that conversation right now because I don't have enough following for that. Anyways. So, yeah. Next we got Donovan Mitchell. He gets close to this range sometimes. Right? But I'll put him here. For me, personally, sometimes he gets on my fucking nerves just because he's so competitive, and like you can I feel like he's one of the players that's really intense during the game. I feel like there's certain people that don't get like that, you know, like certain guys are just kind of level-headed, but Donovan Mitchell shows a lot of intensity, which I can appreciate. So I'll put him as gotta be a personal thing, but sometimes I have a personal thing with him, which almost lands him around right here, you know. But I appreciate Donovan Mitchell. I appreciate, guys that can play like that and be that intense. I mean, he's scored 70 points in the NBA game, so he also has a very fun play style. So shout out to Donovan Mitchell. All right, next we got Kyrie Irving. A little torn with Kyrie Irving because, like, obviously I'm a Celtics fan. But I think a lot of the discourse around Kyrie Irving is a little weird. People are mad at him over some shit the NBA is a business, bro. And then if you don't like his beliefs, bro, I don't think that's enough to not like Kyrie Irving. He's done a lot of quirky stuff, a lot of, little off stuff, the flat earth thing, which, is funny or whatever. But I think Kyrie Irving is a good person. So I'll put him in gotta be a personal thing. Nah, I'll put it, it's gotta be a personal thing. Because to me, I feel like the only way you could not like him is if you have some sort of personal gripe with his beliefs or, something like that. I really, I appreciate Kyrie Irving. I appreciate him in the space of basketball. All right, next we got Anthony Day-to-Day Davis. And, I'll put him in why do you like this guy? I need you to explain to me why you like Anthony Davis. Because I don't want to call him a front runner. I don't know if that's fair to say. But he's definitely a front runner. That's the only way to put it. He when the Lakers are winning and stuff, he's like they're playing his best basketball. When they're not great, he's not great, I feel like. And he had a good season this year, so maybe that's not fair to say. But personally, you need to explain to me why you would like Anthony Davis. I feel like his career hasn't really, I'm not gonna say hasn't panned out. Like, obviously he's been a great player. I think he was an NBA 75 type of player. So, I get it. But also I like, why would you like him as far as like he's always hurt and he's kind of a front runner. So explain that to me. All right, then we got Devin Booker. I'll put him in the I don't get it, but okay. I feel like D-Book talks a lot of shit. It's kind of similar with Halliburton. Him and Halliburton kind of have the same type of thing to me. D-Book kind of talks a lot of shit, and yes, D-Book has proven to be a good player. He led a team to the finals basically. He had a good team, but still. But I feel like they both talk a little bit too much shit, and to me, D-Book is petty and kind of like, I don't know. I just don't like the way he talks shit because also like we've all seen a clip of him in the open run talking about don't double, and then like there's clips of him getting doubled in game and then like he can't handle it. So I feel like it's more or less the same type of like don't talk too much because like you look kind of crazy when you talk that much and can't back it up, Then we got fun guy Kawhi Leonard. I think he's got to go. And how could you not love him? Obviously he's got some injury stuff. And if you're a Clippers fan or I guess like a Spurs fan, maybe you might have some beef with him, but I don't think that's valid to be a personal thing, honestly, because he's done nothing but be fun. Brought Toronto their first championship. So shout out to him, obviously. Yeah, I think he's just a fun guy. And then also he has a lot of those memes where it's just like him doing a dumbass laugh and, a lot of stuff like that. So, yeah, Kawhi Leonard's got to be in the how could you not love him tier. All right, so another guy's kind of a polarizing figure to Celtics fans. Jimmy Butler. I got to put him in personally. I can't stand him. I used to be a Jimmy Butler fan back in the day. And I still don't necessarily hate Jimmy Butler. But there's just so much shit with Jimmy Butler. And there's so much discourse with Jimmy Butler. To me, you can't bullshit the whole season, make the playoffs, and then start trying to turn up. That's not how the sport works. It's not how the sports world should work. Personally, I don't fuck with that. And I think also people try to give him a little bit too much credit. I see he's been a great player for a long time now. But I also don't like him talking shit about the Celtics. Like, if I would have been there, I would have won. And, Pat Riley said the same thing. Like, bro, if you didn't play in the series, don't fucking speak up. Like you didn't play. So to me, that's a little lame. So personally, I don't like him, but I also don't hate Jimmy Butler. Like it's more just the discourse around him, kind of like Brunson. I don't like the discourse. All right, Dame Lillard, I'll put him right here. No, never mind. I'll put him right here. Because Jamal Murray, I said Jamal Murray would have been in the gotta be personal thing until he threw that heating pad. So I'll put Dame Lillard in it's gotta be a personal thing. because unless he gamed one of your teams, he's been nothing but entertaining to the league. Actually, no, I'm moving up with Jamal Murray. And here's the reason. Because a lot of people are going to be upset at his, kind of his overall mantra. Like, okay, don't run from the grind. Then he ran from the grind and still couldn't win. To me, that's a little crazy. I like Dame. I like Dame a lot. He's one of my favorite players. But, yeah, I think he goes a little bit over. It's got to be a personal thing because he ran from the grind and still lost. So you look kind of crazy. All right, Shea, I'll put Shea. Damn. This now, okay, yeah. Again, it's my list. I'm gonna put him in. It's got to be a personal thing, and I'm saying that because I have a personal thing with Shea. Yeah, I don't like how he gets talked about. Kind of similar to Brunson, but Brunson's kind of elevates a little past Shea. Because I feel like if Shea was on the Knicks, I probably feel the same way I feel about Brunson. But I feel like Shea is kind of a benefiting from his situation a lot. Obviously, him being the best player on a Thunder team that without him, they're not, maybe don't sniff the playoffs. Shea probably should have won the MVP this past year. I mean, obviously, I got no ball. I can say that he should have won MVP. But I also can say, like, I don't like how much he benefits from, kind of just being the best player on a team that otherwise wouldn't be great, But I can appreciate Shea, and I can say that I just don't like him because of a personal thing. Then we got my sunshine, my only sunshine. He makes me happy when skies are gray. My Pookie Bear. I'm not even a LeBron sexual, but you just gotta love LeBron James. I'm gonna put him in front of Tyrese Maxey. I'm sorry, Tyrese, if he'll move out the way. All right, fine, I'm gonna put it right there. Anyways, yeah, I gotta love LeBron James. I don't see how you could not love LeBron James. With everything he's done in the community, one of the greatest players we've ever seen. Funny guy, family man. Just, I hate to sound like a glazer, but just one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen, personality-wise and skill-wise. So, and I always say this, people that don't like LeBron James, it goes back to, I think I was talking about Jaylen Brown when I said this. If you don't like LeBron James, there's only a couple of reasons, bro. Either you're like a Warriors fan, or like maybe like a salty Cavs fan still, like, or a salty Heat fan or something like that. Or another reason. And another reason I won't talk about. But you know why. And if you're watching it and that's the reason you don't like him, goodbye. Because that's not the fan base I want. But shout out to LeBron. My Pookie Bear, my sunshine, my glorious king. Then we got KD, and I'm going to put him right here. Because I don't hate KD, but I see how you could. Because obviously he ran from the grind and everything. Like, I get it, but he's been very open about running from the grind. He's not like Dame. So, like, how much can you really hate Kevin Durant? Like, he basically said, like, I wanted to win a championship, so I went where I knew I would win a championship. And it's like, I really respect that. I respect him basically saying, like, damn, I had a goal, and so I wanted to get to the goal and finish my goal. So, fuck y'all. So if that's how you feel, like, shout out to you, Kevin. I can't really do too much about that. Then we got, just a great young man, just an amazing 19-year-old, and Jason Tatum. I'm gonna put him right there beside the man he dunked on so viciously. Yeah, I don't see how you could not like Jason Tatum, bro. I understand the Kobe stuff, I guess, but, like, what does that really have to do with you? Or do you just want to hate? He's been the best player on the best team in the East across the last 3 to 4 seasons. First team All-NBA guy perennially at this point. Great shooter, can drive the ball, strong, tatted, light skin, curly hair. I'm glazing, and I'm okay with that. And yeah, so I think, how could you not like Jason Tatum? So yeah, I gotta give Jason Tatum the how could you not love him tier. And the only reason you wouldn't like him again is just some glazing internet shit that niggas on Twitter told you to say. So, that might be on you. It's definitely on you. to me, Jokic goes in that tier as well. He's a very I think he's a fun guy. I think he's cool. I like Jokic. But yeah, I think he pushed was that Marcus or Markieff? Had to be Markieff Morris. He blew that nigga's back out. Pause. But unless you're like a Markieff Morris stan, which I mean, shout out to you. If you're watching this here on Markieff Morris stan, I guess my content has went a lot farther than I thought. But yeah, no, I don't think that's a thing. So, yeah, I gotta give Jokic. Yeah, how could you not love him? Giannis, I don't hate him, but I see how you could, because personally, I don't hate him, but I've seen him do some shit that was like pretty hateable. Like the shit where he threw the ladder, that was fucking lame. And I feel like sometimes Giannis can let his emotions get the best of him, which is like, okay, like as a grown man, like who hasn't been there before? But I mean, obviously he's held to a little bit different of a standard just because his status and his platform. But I think Giannis, obviously with his story coming from Greece and everything, I like him. I like him a lot personally. But I could see like if he threw the Celtics ladder, I might kind of hate him a little bit. So yeah, I see it. All right, we got the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry. I can have a personal thing with him, but I'm not gonna. Although this is my fucking list, so if I really want to, I would put him, and they gotta be a personal thing. I'll put him in. How could you not love Steph Curry? One of the most fun players we've ever seen. Great shooter, great family man, just great everything about Steph Curry. Gotta love him, I feel like. And even though I have a personal thing, obviously he beat the Celtics in the finals, and that was upsetting. I can't lie, that was very upsetting. But yeah, I love Steph Curry, and I don't think you should hate him. I really don't. All right, we got Luka Doncic up next, and I feel like this is pretty easy too. I think it's gotta low-key be a personal thing there. Obviously, if you're a Clippers fan, you probably hate that motherfucker because he's kind of single-handedly almost changed the trajectory of your franchise right now, depending on what y'all do in the offseason. So we'll see about that. He's also hit a lot of game winners on a lot of teams. And also, he's kind of like another player that's kind of like not a bad foul baiter, but he's definitely a savvy player with how he plays, like drawing fouls, and he makes a lot of fluky, insane shots, kind of like Jokic does. But so I think he's a little bit less likable than some of these other guys. But I think again, it's got to be a personal thing. And then we got Joel Embiid. I gotta say with Embiid, I gotta put him in the why do you like this guy? I don't hate Embiid, that's not me saying I hate him, but it is me. I just need some explanation. Like, do you like his play style? Like, do you just love to see a dominant big man? What is that? Because also he's had a lot of injury stuff similar to Anthony Davis. He kind of whines a lot, similar to like a Trae Young. Showing a little bit to be like an asshole, like LaMelo Ball. So three of these guys are in this tier right here. I think he kind of exhibits their qualities. Obviously he's a little bit more of a winner than those. Well, not even Anthony Davis. He's a little bit more of a winner than Trae and LaMelo. But he's not like this nigga never made the conference finals. So but be that as it may, this is the final list. My NBA slander tier list. So yeah, let me know what you think about it. I think this is pretty fair. I don't think anyone's like, and again, like, this is my list, but I don't think anyone's too high or too low on this list. So yeah, but let me know your feelings in the comments. If you hate it, if you love it, what you think about it. But yeah, if you like this content, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, you have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all later.